Hey guys, it's FifaRalle here and welcome to yet another squad builder video, and this time around we are looking at a silver skill squad. And yeah, this squad you can both use for fun in single matches if you want to, or use it competitive in the silver class tournament, and it is in a 4-5-1 formation, which isn't exactly my favorite formation, but by using the instructions you can kind of work around that. But anyways, let's get into the net. We do have Reprov, and he's a decent silver goalkeeper. I did use a Pletikosa, which is the highest rated silver goalkeeper from the Russian league, but he was really bad, so I decided to switch him up, and Reprov performed quite a bit better for me. Then we have Beresutski and Antonio Ferreira as my two center backs, and you got sort of a fast center back here who's tall, and yeah, I've used him in many squads because despite his low rating he performs very well in a silver squad. And Beresutski, he was pretty big and strong as well, so yeah, the center backs played good for silver players in my opinion. On the right back we are going to the Mexican league, and we have Aguilar, and he actually cost quite a bit for a non-rare right back, but he was mainly there for the chemistry reason, and yeah, it was okay. Like, I was okay with paying a bit of coins for my right back, because then I could play Arroyo in on the right mid spot. Of course not on full chemistry, he would play on 7 chemistry in the end, but he played outstanding on the right mid spot. To be fair, he's actually scored more goals per game in this squad than in any other squad I've used him in, so yeah, he actually worked out really well on that right mid spot. And then moving on to the left backs, but we do have Willems, a 4-star skiller of course, so you can pull off a few skill moves with him if you want to. And he links nicely up with one of the new skillers released on the game here in the past few weeks, and that is Kishna, which was a skiller I've used in a previous squad as well, and I quite like to play with him. Now, he doesn't score that many goals for me, but he just is a player that is fun to dribble with. I feel like he just feels good on the ball to go on skill runs with. And yeah, he is in on the left mid spot. Now, moving on to the core of the squad, we do have a 5-star skiller on the center mid spot, and it's mainly down to his work rates. I actually decided to play him there, and you can probably guess who it is out from like the core of our defense. It is Vitinho. 5-star skills on him, and his work rates medium high work rates. So yeah, he will stay back, and also use the instructions to actually just keep him back. So if I wanted him to go on the attack, I had to bring him forward myself. The only downside to him is his stamina. He always runs low on stamina in the games, and usually ends up pulling up if you go into extra time in your games. So that is sort of the downside to him, but apart from that, he's a pretty fun little skiller to have into your squad. Now, moving on to the center attacking mid spot, we do have some players from the Scottish League. The first player we have is Steven, and yeah, he is definitely a fun skiller to use on the game. I liked his inform a whole lot more than his center attacking mid card, but the center attacking mid card started to grow on me, and he plays pretty good in game in my opinion. Then we do have Armstrong. You could also play the Celtic version of Steven and then play Brown in on the center attacking mid instead if you wanted to, but I played Armstrong, and I mean, he's a good player with his stats for silver, but on the center attacking mid spot with the 3-star skills, he's not my favorite player to use. So I actually used instructions to make him stay back or come back on defense in order to sort of customize this 4-5-1 formation a little bit in how I wanted to attack with the squad. And then we have Chifty on the top, and that was pretty much the team. Now let's look on to the sort of the instructions. I have the defensive support on Armstrong to come back on defense, so he's more of a center mid, and then you have Steven staying forward, so he's more of a center forward / second striker in behind Chifty when you go on the attack. And then you do have Vitinho staying back while attacking. With his high defensive work rate, he works as a CDM basically, stays back. And then on my wingers, I used the supporting runs to sort of get in behind, so they would like run in behind my center attacking mids and sort of support on the attack. And I actually got Arroyo very well included in my attacks when I used this tactic, and that was pretty much how I play with the team. So Vitinho as a sort of a CDM, Armstrong a little bit in front of him, and then Chifty and Steven as sort of the two front men, and then the wingers to sort of support the attack in some way. So yeah, I used the instructions to sort of also the 4-5-1 a little bit in a way where I got the players I wanted to attack into my attacking some way, because Armstrong was not the player I wanted to attack with. It was the 5-star skillers, of course. So yeah, it saw me getting Arroyo and Kishna into the play quite a bit. Yeah, I really like the squad as it played, because I built a previous squad in the 4-5-1 formation where it didn't change the instructions, and I didn't really like to play with it that much. But this one felt quite a bit better. And yeah, as I said, I think Arroyo, he scored the most goals I've ever scored in the squad with him, which was a little bit weird because he did play on 7 chemistry on the right mid spot. But yeah, I think he was the top goal scorer in the squad, scored a few nice goals. And Gary Mackay-Steven also scoring a nice little goal here. But he was still sort of a mixture between a center forward and cam, because Chifty was still sort of the lone striker in some way, because he's big and strong. He's the guy who's always would be up on the top, and I would usually find Gary Mackay-Steven when I went on the counter attack, and then I'll play it up onto Chifty, who is big and strong, could sort of try and keep players off the ball. But I do still have some complaints about him, because he's a player who sometimes can feel kind of bad on the ball and not really perform, and then other times he sort of shows up and shines on through and then creates something really genius. And I feel he's a little bit similar to Benzema in that regard, because Benzema is, for me at least, a player who is, I can't really get an opinion on, because sometimes he performs really bad and then other times he performs really well. And that is the picture I have of Chifty. He can be a really good striker, but at times he can also sort of let you down in some way. But anyways, guys, this is sort of where the video comes to an end. I hope you did enjoy the goals and the squad, and that is pretty much all. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.